I don't know how many of you know that I used to pastor a church in Kent. In fact, I have some of my parishioners here with me from Riverview Community Church, here in the back, here. And here's what happened. I had this assistant pastor named Jennifer Smith. She happens to be here right now. And she came to me one day and she says, Pastor Brett, she goes, there is a new young couple at the church that would love to meet you, get to know you, and maybe talk about how they can get involved in ministry and maybe becoming members of the church. I said, sure, line up the appointment. That'd be great. So the day of the appointment came, and I was all excited because I just recently got new furniture. And my wife helped me pick out this nice red leather couch, and it has these silver armrests. It's just really cool, modern-looking thing. And then we got these black chairs, black leather chairs. It was just really cool, and I was kind of excited to have an appointment with my new furniture. Well, I had this big window in my office, and the door opens. Jennifer says, they're here. I'm like, okay. So the door opens up. The husband's holding the door, and here comes the wife. And she's walking like this. And she is very, very pregnant. And I'm like, oh, my. And I didn't say that out loud, but I'm thinking it. And she walks in like this, and I'm like, oh, hi, I'm Pastor Brett. And then I say hi to the husband. I said, well, come in. And I sit on the couch there, and I took a chair, and Jenny took a chair here. And so we start talking, and I couldn't help it. I'm just like, so, wow, are you, she goes, yeah, I'm 9 months, and I'm due any minute. And I'm like, we could reschedule, I said. And she's like, no, we'll be fine. I said, are you sure? Yeah, I'll be fine. Okay. So we start to visit. They're telling us a little bit about themselves. We start to visit. All of a sudden, she goes like this. And I look at Jenny, and I look back, and I'm like, You all right? Yeah, I'll be fine. We can reschedule. No, we're good. Okay. A few more minutes goes by. You know what? Why don't we just reschedule? I said, I think I would feel better about that. I think it would probably be easier. No, we've been waiting for this point. We'd really like to do this. And her husband's like, honey, are you okay? And she goes, well, I forgot to tell you, I've been having contractions all day long. And I'm like, really? Because I'm thinking we should reschedule. No, please. So we keep talking, and all of a sudden she goes, and she stands up and she goes, my water broke. And I look, and her pants are soaking wet. And I look at my couch, and there's a puddle of water on my couch. Now, you know how sometimes you'll think things, but it's best if you don't say them out loud? I thought, that's not normal water, is it? Does that stain? I don't know. I didn't say it, but I'm looking at the couch like, and all of a sudden, she's like, call the doctor. So her husband gets on the cell phone, and Jenny goes, go get paper towel. And I'm like, okay, what? And she runs off. I'm like, why are you doing? And so I'm standing there. The husband's on the phone with the doctor, and the wife is sitting there going, and I don't know what to do. So I'm like, do you want me to touch you? Should I rub something? I don't know what to say to her as she's going through this. I look out the window, and Jenny's out there trying to figure out the paper towels. I'm like, get in here. It's going to have a baby now. Come on. All of a sudden, all the paper towels blow over. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's screaming. The gal starts screaming. So her husband hands me the phone. He says, you talk to the doctor. Why me? You talk to... I'm like, hello? And the doctor says, okay, this is Dr. So-and-so. He says, what's going on there? And I said, your patient's having a baby in my office. She starts to scream. And so I walk away to get to the other end of my office because she's screaming so loud. I said, he goes, now, sir, I need you to calm down. And I said, calm down. She's having a baby in my office, like right now. And he says, listen, there's two things we can do. We can either send the ambulance or you can drive her yourself. I'm like, no, send the ambulance. You need to come here, like right now. She's screaming so loud, I'm covering an ear. He says, okay, what's the address to the church? I can't remember the address to the church. So I'm finding business card. I get a business card off my desk, and I'm like, okay, it's 4135 South. And all of a sudden I hear, and Jenny, my assistant pastor, yells, and she goes, Brett, you've got to get off the phone now and deliver this baby. And I turn around, and here's the gal on my couch, and her husband has her left leg, and Jenny has her right leg, and she's like, and I'm like, why me? And now she still had her pants on, but another thing, a thought that went but didn't come out my mouth, I'm like, you can't be naked in my office, I'm a pastor. You can't do it. And so I'm like, why? And I'm holding the phone. Why me? He's the husband. You're a woman. Why am I delivering the baby? She goes, get over here now. And I'm like, hold on. And the doctor's like, sir, you need to calm down. I'm like, calm down. She's having a baby. She starts screaming so loud. I walk out of my office just so I can hear her. I said, listen, this is crazy. And he says, sir, if you do not calm down, I'm going to have you hand the phone back to the husband, and I'm going to have him slap you. He says it to me on the phone. And I stopped, and I looked. I'm like, what? And I turn around, and I look through the window, and here's Jennifer, the pregnant woman, and the husband, and they're all dancing. And I'm like, what? And I walk back in the office, and they all went, April Fools! We got you! I was so mad. I said, excuse me? She's like, yeah, it's a joke. I'm like, okay, number one, you will never become a member of this church. And number two, I don't even think you're going to heaven. I said, what about the doctor? Oh, it was the husband's dad playing in on a joke. I said, what about the water? Oh, yeah. She pulls a sandwich bag out of her pants. She goes, I had it full of water and I just popped it when I needed to. Who does that? Who puts baggies of water in their pants and, oh, now's a good time? What in the world? Now, that's a true story. And people wonder why I don't pastor anymore. There you go.